Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel again. Uh, First and foremost, like I always say to you guys, thank you for all the support that you guys showed on the Goatman video. It really does mean the world to me that you guys got that to almost, um, you know, at the time, almost 3,500 views. That's ridiculous to me, and the fact that our subscriber count went up significantly. Uh, that also blows me away. Again, I can't thank anybody but you guys. You guys have been very, very helpful for me um, in terms of having the drive to do this. Seeing that people enjoy my videos as much as they do, it means the world to me. But on another note, this video started off as a UFO video, which is why it seems like I'm going somewhere with it. When I'm talking about the initial UFO in Mexico, it was going to be the whole of Central and South America, but I ended up scrapping that because there was not enough media for you guys, and I feel like for you guys, I love to bring media into it, so that way that you guys have kind of a focal point for it. So, and also this was also going to be about a South American cryptid, but I ended up scrapping that too because I just didn't feel like it was enough for you guys. So, I mean, if you guys want to see that, let me know, but I ended up scrapping it for that. So, yeah, uh, like always, I hope you guys enjoy, and thank you. A question that we might ask ourselves as a race is there anything else out there with us, whether nearby or far away? It's a question that's pretty valid to ask, considering that you hear it talked about all the time that it's pretty much a mathematical impossibility that we are out here by ourselves without any intelligent life. Now, I'm of the disposition that I'm sure that there is intelligent life out there that's close, if not way surpassed us in technology, or maybe they're still in the Stone Age, and that's why we don't see them. Now, with the advent of technology, we now have the ability to photograph, videotape, and record any type of phenomenon that these creatures or, you know, outer space visitors might pose to us. Now, with that being said, has there been any of this information recorded? Well, I mean, if you've been on the internet, you know that that's a definite yes. Now, the validity of it is very questionable. However, I believe that there is a grain of truth in everything. Now, we can always kind of look back and kind of pinpoint where this whole flying saucer alien thing kind of came about, and that is, of course, the Roswell incident that happened back in 1947. Now, for those who don't know by any chance, the Roswell incident was a supposed crashing of a UFO near Roswell. And the crazy thing about it is that a lot of people, uh, and these are people that work closely with the United States Air Force and Army and whatnot, have corroborated stories that there was little green men in that crash. However, later reports from the Air Force say that it was just a weather balloon, or that it was pretty much just not a flying saucer. And like I said again, this is one of the oldest and probably one of the most well-known UFO crashes and just kind of extraterrestrial happenings that is known across the world. I mean, a lot of people still to this day speculate on it. And while nowadays it's kind of played up for laughs, what happened in Roswell, a lot of people still are of the belief that it did actually happen. And while I wasn't there, I can't validate anything. I like to believe that something did happen just for the fun of it. Now, nowadays, UFOs have kind of become more or less kind of an everyday occurrence now that the United States has pretty much confirmed their existence. Um, we often don't hear about what happens in other parts of the world. And that's why I decided to make this video. For as much as we hear about aliens and UFOs here in the United States, there's actually way more reports down south towards Mexico and in South America. And today I'm going to bring to you guys some of the ones that I thought were kind of really, I don't want to say real, but were very kind of entrenched in truth. And before I get started with these, again, I'm not saying that these are 100% real. I'm just saying that in a sea of craziness, these were some of the things that kind of piqued my interest, and again, I think kind of stand out amongst everything else that I've seen. Now, I won't go way too in depth in these just because I don't want this to turn into like an hour-long video. So if I do talk about something here on the video that does interest you, there's a lot of other channels who have done it way better than I have that will probably go way more in depth in it. So aside from that, enjoy. So popular media has led us to believe that most UFOs, or as people call them nowadays, UAPs, are these flying saucer shaped mechanisms. When in reality, according to the community surrounding these phenomenons, they are various shapes. In fact, the one that I see the most, especially coming out of Mexico, is called an Ibani, if I'm saying that right. Now, this is a strange type of UFO or UAP, whatever you want to call it, and it takes the shape of a sky serpent or like a snake. And one of, I guess, the leading person when it comes to evidence for these things is a gentleman out of my beautiful homeland of Mexico named Octavio Fernandez Garcia. Now, I'll link his channel in the description, and I'll provide to you some of the videos that he's created. So if you were taking another glance at Mr. Fernandez's page, you could see that it's not just the Ibanis that he captures on tapes, but lots of other orb-shaped UFOs. Now, what makes these UAPs or UFOs, whatever you want to call them, so interesting? Well, the thing that I've narrowed down about these Ibani UFOs is that they are very unique, not just in shape and in look, but I guess just in a literal sense. These things seem to undulate, and even in this video that I'm going to show you now, they look like they're breathing or doing something like that. And another thing that I found incredibly interesting about these Ibani UFOs is that they come in different colors and shapes. Now, I was of the belief that these could be balloons or something, but I don't know. The way that sometimes these things move, it just kind of leads me to believe that it's something, I don't want to say living, but it's definitely not balloons. And a lot of people will say that these are bugs or something of the sort, but honestly, the fact that Mr. Fernandez has to use this what seems to be scope to see these things far out into the sky leads me to believe that they're actually pretty big for what they're supposed to be. Now, another thing that's interesting is that he has recorded these things in infrared. Now, to my understanding, infrared works when reading heat signatures. And the wider something is, the hotter it is. Now, for this thing to be this hot, I would assume that it has to have, some sort of property that lets it retain heat. Whether that be that it's metal or that it is an organic being. Depending on what you believe is what your answer is. But that is one of the stranger UAP or UFO phenomenons that I've seen in Mexico. And thanks to Mr. Octavio here for providing me with this video. and clips. So again, I'm gonna link him in the description. So if you guys can check him out, he's also on Facebook. He hasn't posted in like a year, but it's good to see that he's still doing his thing. So yeah, check him out. In 1988, in the state of Veracruz, specifically in Boca del Rio, opened up an amusement park going by El Reino Mágico, or the Magic Kingdom, similar to that of Disneyland. Now, I'm no stranger to amusement parks here on the channel, but this one is very different from the other ones that I've covered. Now, this is like any other amusement park that you might see. It came with pools, it came with slides, castles, theaters, animal attractions, the works. There was even some representation again to the aforementioned Disney in the form of Winnie the Pooh and, most infamously, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, the governor of, I'm assuming, Veracruz, had actually spoken to the Disney company, um, hoping to get, the rights to use these characters. Which, in my research, it's been kind of vague if he was able to or not. Now, the thing that really stands out about this amusement park compared to the other ones that I had covered before, like the one in Tourist Trap or in 1999, is that this specific amusement park was built on what used to be a cemetery in Veracruz. It was known as El Panteón General, or in English, the General Pantheon. Now, this specific cemetery had been open since, I believe, 1913. And this is where thousands of people from Veracruz had been buried. And a lot of these bodies were exhumed to make way for this amusement park. Now, to me, that sounds incredibly cruel. Not only for the fact that a lot of these people had been there for, almost well over 50 years. And, a lot of these people were probably family members of the locals of the area. So for them to come up and, buy this area and just exhume these bodies and tell them to take them somewhere else is kind of a scumbag thing to do. So if popular horror movies have taught us anything, it is to let the dead lie. So imagine moving an entire cemetery to build an amusement park. I would assume that that would lead to the haunting of a lifetime. And arguably it did. And I would say that since they exhumed those bodies, that was pretty much the beginning of the end for the Magic Kingdom. Because told to us from some of the workers that worked there, there had been a lot of accidents and even some deaths that happened while during the construction of the Magic Kingdom. And over time, these legends kind of led up to people seeing things like ghosts or apparitions or even some of the statues moving. And one of the most famous statues there at the Magic Kingdom that is known to be just the creepiest thing ever is the Snow White statue. Now, there was a testimony given from one of the workers talking about how one of their fellow workers had seen this statue move, which led to the unfortunate worker to suffer, a fatal shock. And by shock, I don't mean like he got electrocuted, but I'm saying he got so scared that he just, I guess his heart just gave out on him. And to be honest, I probably would have the same reaction. Depending on when these guys are working, I would assume that they're working day and night trying to get this thing done. Seeing this thing move at any point in the day would definitely be terrifying. However, this isn't the only occurrences that have happened at the Magic Kingdom. There was talks about how people would be in the pools and feel just like a ghostly tug at their legs while they were in there. And I mean, if you see this pool area, it just looks just kind of uncanny. You have this big, I guess, wizard or bad guy looking at you inside of this pool, and it just feels very foreboding, especially with the accounts of people feeling themselves being tugged at. And ultimately, what led to the closure of the Magic Kingdom was that, unfortunately, a young woman or a girl, I can't really get the specifics just from researching, was unfortunately killed after she was flung off of one of the rides there at the Magic Kingdom. And I guess that kind of just led to the closure of the area and its subsequent abandonment. Now, despite being abandoned, it is still somewhat accessible, and in fact, a lot of people go there to do urban exploration. And going back to our good old Snow White, there's even a video of her supposedly moving. And despite how scary this video is, I think to me, what this really kind of feels is kind of depressing. I mean, I'll play the video for you guys now, but here in a bit, you'll see that these things are just kind of just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. Like, pretty much, I can't tell if it's behind the place or like in an alley, just somewhere. And you can tell that this thing has gone through multiple stages of disrepair, and despite how eerie it is, it's kind of depressing. But I'll play the video for you guys. I'll quit yapping. But yeah, this is Snow White moving.
¿No? Sí. Tengo una lamparota super expandex. Ah, bueno, tú tienes tu luz azul. ¿Sí?
Güey, ese es el velador de...
Es el velador, ¿no? Ah, velador. ¡Ey! ¡Velador!
Aguanta, espérate, ey. Shh, no te muevas.
Güey,
No mames, no te muevas ahí. Güey,
¿velador?
ese no es el velador, güey.
Güey, no es el velador. Sí,
No.
yo también pensaba que era el velador.
No, aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón. ¡Ey! Se me cayó algo, güey. ¿Qué se me cayó? A la verga. Sentí que se me cayó mi cartera, pero no. ¡Hola! No digas cosas. No. Güey, ¿fue aquí? No digas mamadas, güey. Buenas, velador. No mames. Esta madre no pudo haber salido, está con reja. Está con reja, güey. No digas mamadas, güey. No digas mamadas, Joe. Miren. No digas mamadas, güey.
Yo la vi moverse, güey.
No, Joe. No. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
No mames, güey. No mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro del reino mágico. Banda, comparte.
No mames, güey, no mames.
Parece que sus ojos te miran, ¿verdad?
Pareciera, pero no creo, güey.
Vamos a hacer tantito.
Güey, es que qué pedo, güey. Hola. Tú te moviste. Tú fuiste la que se movió. ¿Es así? No mames, güey.
Me voy a acercar tantito
¿Tú fuiste la que se movió, mujer?
para grabar sus ojos.
A ver, güey.
Para grabar sus ojos. Pues siempre dicen que hay que...
Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey.
¿Verdad?
Amarillo.
Yo pensé que era el velador, te lo juro, hermano, pero...
Yo también, güey.
Qué bueno que me detuviste.
No, güey, no era el velador, mira. Blancanieves.
Blancanieves.
Ay, güey, dime que no era cierto, güey. No mames, güey.
Qué miedo, qué miedo.
Miren. Pero es que, güey, no creo que haya sido ella, güey, mira. Porque no se puede ni sostener esto, güey. Mira, y aparte está muy rompido todo, mira.
Sí, no, o sea, está hecha de fibra de vidrio,
No mames, güey.
pero ella no se puede mover.
Sería ella.
No tiene brazo, además.
Güey, porque yo no miro a nadie más, güey.
So obviously, from the footage that we just saw, that these two gentlemen were out there, probably trying to do some sort of nightly urban X, and they came across this uh, scary scene. So for those who might not know, some of the things that they were saying was a word that they say towards the beginning is velador, and essentially that means like a watchman. So I guess at the beginning they probably thought that it was a watchman, or they were letting that person know that they themselves were the watchmen. I couldn't really tell, just because I I could. Their inflection was kind of weird. So towards the end there, whenever they're like kind of looking at it and examining it, they remark to themselves, trying to kind of rationalize it, and saying that this thing couldn't possibly have moved because of how broken it was, and that they're the only ones that are out there. So yeah, this case is kind of weird, um, and it's kind of up in the air, to me at least, how far along this thing kind of came like into this state, because you look at videos from not too long ago, I would say about a decade ago, and this thing, relatively has some of its color left. And then, within the past, again, decade, it just kind of gets worse and worse and worse, and it's kind of sad. But that was kind of the mystery of El Reino Mágico, and really the one of the biggest kind of staples for haunted amusement parks down there in Mexico. And yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think that thing was. I mean, you could see the yellow dress on it, but I don't know. I really don't know one way or another what it is. So yeah, just tell me what you think it is. Generally, one of the most known and kind of reviled paranormal phenomenons amongst the general uh, consciousness of Mexicans is witches, and I guess magic to an extent. Um, Here, I would imagine in the United States and in most parts, people kind of, when they think of witches, they think of the Wizard of Oz type of witch, or something that's a whole lot less frightening. But in Mexico, uh, black magic and witches, warlocks, and what have you are still pretty much a widely believed, and again, just widely, I guess, hated aspect of life. Now, if you could ask any Mexican, my parents included, or if whoever, what a witch is, what a witch can do, most of the time they'll explain that it's a very usually ugly woman who is often dressed in black or red and has the ability to fly, turn into balls of fire, or have some sort of uh, magic that allows them to harm others. And it was almost 20 years ago that people in Monterrey were able to capture footage of a supposed witch flying through the sky. Now, I'm gonna play the video as I speak, just so you guys can kind of get an idea of what happened, and you guys can make your own assumptions. Um, Overall, what the people were saying of Monterrey, they were saying that this was um, a witch. And if you watch the video, this to me, at least, does not look like a bird or any type of flying creature, and even less of a flying vehicle, not even a helicopter. I try to think about things rationally, but this truly, to me, has me stumped. Um, People have also corroborated this story across Monterrey. Um, there was an officer who mentioned being attacked by this red-eyed, black feathered creature that was, in his words, a witch. This happened to, two police officers. One of them just straight up he just hid because he was so scared. And people were able to capture this thing on video, and pretty much, like I said, the whole town corroborated it. And for many years, people have, even before this, have talked about how witches are able to fly, whether that be by their own powers or by turning into balls of fire. And speaking of this flying witch phenomenon, another flying witch video that has come out of Leon, Guanajuato, where, in fact, I have a coworker who actually lived there. This, from what I know, is probably one of the most witch-infested areas, according to her, and I believe that. This place, it is just a hot spot for crazy stuff, paranormal stuff in Mexico, and that's saying something because you can ask anybody out of Mexico. It is a very, 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 very scary place. Just without the other outside factors, if you know what I'm talking about. So, this affinity for witches here in Leon actually goes back to the 19th century, where people have talked about seeing giant balls of fire come off of El Gigante, which is a mountain there in Leon, and it's one of the highest peaks there in the area. And again, for years, people have mentioned these witches throughout the years. In fact, this place is so packed with witches that there's even a whole house that is said to be where witches come to congregate. And there is actually lots of Urban X videos about this. I'm going to link a video of a guy going into this house. I'm going to play just a small snippet while I talk about this thing. But yes, this place is just crawling with witches. I even saw some things about the devil being in Leon. So I just want to say, do not step foot in Leon if you are superstitious or just do not like bad vibes. But without further ado, I'm going to present to you guys the flying witch of Leon. A lot of people say that this is a bag stuck on a power line, but to be honest with you, I do not see a power line, and this does not look like a bag to me. So tell me what you think. So from the video that we just saw, there was obviously something suspended up there in the air. Now, I don't have any concrete answer on what that is. Obviously, I'm not an expert. However, I do think that that is very strange to see something like that completely suspended. And again, about the bag thing, I really don't see any power lines. I could be blind, so I don't know. The bag theory could be out of the window. I don't think that the original creator has followed up. However, I again, try to think of things rationally, but I really don't have a rational explanation for this one. And to be fair, given the context of the situation, it makes it all the more scarier. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. What do you guys think? And what do you think that thing could actually be? Man, this video has been a huge undertaking for me, and I know I say that a lot, but this one genuinely has, more than any other. I had really bad writer's block for this one, and I really tried my best to kind of like stay consistent for you guys, so that's kind of why I was so stressed about this video, because I didn't want to leave you guys without another video for the next like 2 or 3 months, because I tend to do that. So yeah, I just wanted to say a few things before I sign out of this one. First and foremost, I just wanted to say that this video had gone through so many stages prior to it. Like I mentioned in the beginning, like this used to be like a Cuero video, like the cryptid in Chile, and I just scrapped it because I just didn't feel like it was enough content for you guys. Like I felt like it was too kind of, I don't know how to put it. I just felt like it wasn't enough, and I know how you guys enjoy these kind of long format videos and enjoy my videos especially, which means the world to me. But yeah, this one took a long time. I mean, my sodium levels I'm pretty sure it's crazy right now from all the stuff that I had to eat and drink to stay up the past couple of days working on this thing. And I mean, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who showed me love on the past few videos. I want to keep thanking you guys, because it really is because of you guys, because how far these channels have gone. Another thing that I want to mention is that there's actually analog horror series about Reino Mágico, or the Magic Kingdom. It's called Reino Trágico, so the Tragic Kingdom. It's pretty cool, very very interesting. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys, and again, I appreciate everybody who comes in and watches these videos and shares them and likes them and comments and all that stuff. It really does. It does a lot for me, guys, especially as a content creator, because you can ask anybody that I know. Video making is a huge passion for me, especially when it comes to things that I have an interest in and that you guys share an interest in. So I'm gonna stop running my gums here, and I'm just gonna say thank you to you guys again, and have a beautiful rest of your week.
Hey Mario, that big old 500-pound bitch Bowser just took the damn princess and used all the star power to put everybody in paintings. Now I need you to take your ass inside those paintings and recover the stars with a little bit of jumping, what? A little bit of punching, what? And a little bit of ass whooping, what? To save Princess Peach. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Toad said so.